leaked medical records and explicit allegations. A kid enmeshed in a tempest. The long-running feud between hip-hop artist Blueface and reality TV star and rapper Chrisean Rock has finally reached a new level. And this time, it goes beyond toxic love or social media drama. Allegations of pregnancy abuse, their infant son's severe health problems, and a contentious dispute about who is actually to blame for the child's condition are all at issue. We're exposing the entire time frame tonight. From startling assault allegations to leaked hospital records, the tumultuous relationship of the couple, and the widely reported conflict between fans, critics, and families. Disturbing and terrible are the details of this catastrophe that have been revealed in real time on Instagram Live, in radio interviews, and on gossip blogs. Chrisean's unsettling memory of a night in Las Vegas sparked the most recent argument. She spoke candidly and publicly about how, when very pregnant, she was sitting on the end of a bed when Blueface reportedly attacked her viciously, she says. He said to her, "Your stomach will bleed more the more you move. I'm going to murder this infant. You will be bleeding on schoolyard crib for a month." She claims that following the threat, her body was struck several times. However, the accusations did not end there. Chrisean went on to say that Blueface struck her with a car while she was 6 or 7 months pregnant, frightening even the most cynical onlookers with the savagery, seeing a young woman carrying a child who has allegedly been abused and harmed by the child's father is a terrible mental image in and of itself. There was more to this revelation than just another social media controversy. The months-long discussion about abuse, responsibility, and the effects of such traumatic events on an unborn child was rekindled. Chrisean started to directly connect her son's health problems to the torture she claims she endured throughout her pregnancy after the alleged incident in Vegas. During live streams and interviews, she surmised that her baby's current health issues could be related to those violent episodes. Surprisingly, however, she also acknowledged that she is somewhat to blame for the relationship's survival in spite of the violence. Critics, however, were not placated by that recognition. Many internet detractors, including those close to Blueface, claim that Chrisean was frequently spotted drinking and smoking when she was pregnant. She was shown disregarding supporters' repeated requests for her to stop using drugs in footage from Instagram lives and public engagements. Those onlookers could not overlook her personal pregnancy choices when talking about the health of her unborn child. But Chrisean persisted in focusing on the alleged abuse, claiming that the physical and mental strain she experienced was a significant, if not the main, cause of her infant's sickness. The argument over responsibility grew more heated when private medical records purportedly belonging to her child, Chrisean Jr., appeared online. Some of the worst concerns that had been circulating on social media for months seemed to be validated. By the documents. They discovered a startling array of diagnoses, such as fetal alcohol syndrome, newborn abstinence syndrome, stiffness, seizure disorder, cortical visual impairment, and the requirement for continuous specialist care. For those who don't know, drinking alcohol while pregnant can result in fetal alcohol syndrome, which can cause physical abnormalities, behavioral problems, and developmental delays. The withdrawal symptoms that a newborn who is exposed to drugs while still in the womb experiences are referred to as neonatal abstinence syndrome. Concerns were raised when both conditions were found in the same medical file. Critics who had long accused Chrisean of substance seemed to gain credibility as a result. Abuse during pregnancy claims she had previously written off as unfounded gossip. Both parties were enraged by the discovery. While some perceived it as a flagrant invasion of privacy, others saw it as evidence that Chrisean's detractors had been correct all along. Carissa Saffold, Blueface's mother, was among the most vocal opponents of Chrisean's story. She defended her son in interviews and social media posts, claiming that Chrisean was downplaying her own careless actions and playing the victim. Saffold was clearly irritated. She argued that Blueface was already completing his sentence covertly and without protest. And now they're trying to pile on more stuff on him, as proof that the alleged abuse could not have been the sole cause of Chrisean Jr.'s disability. She pointed to Blueface's 2 other children, all of whom were born healthy. Her critique didn't end there either. Chrisean was charged by Saffold with being the relationship's aggressor and ignoring a number of family members and medical professionals' advice against using drugs or alcohol while pregnant. We have to go back to early 2023 to understand how this all unraveled, she said, adding that those decisions, not the alleged assault, were the real source of the baby's health issues. Chrisean then shared pictures of several positive test results on Instagram, revealing her pregnancy to the world. Blueface publicly denied being the father, despite the fact that admirers showered her comments with congrats. He asserted that they were no longer together and questioned her loyalty, implying that paternity would need to be verified by a DNA test. When Blueface's mother arrived, she strongly condemned the pregnancy and implied that Chrisean was lying, which caused the situation to rapidly get out of hand. She went on, "Definitely not pregnant. Allowing such an exercise would result in that man losing his license." In the meantime, the public observed Chrisean's pregnancy development, and it was everything but peaceful. She frequently shared content on social media about smoking, drinking, and having parties. When he FaceTimed her during a broadcast and saw that she was smoking a joint while obviously pregnant, even DJ academics became enmeshed in the narrative. The widely shared video sparked contentious discussions over whether she was a suitable mother. More drama was added when Blueface's mother live-streamed on Instagram and confronted Chrisean's sister Tessa and her friends. According to her, they didn't intervene to prevent Chrisean's drug use during her pregnancy because they condoned it. They did it instead because they were afraid of losing her money. Saffold asserted that even if it meant jeopardizing her relationship with Chrisean, she would have stepped in if she had been in their shoes. These exchanges demonstrated that Chrisean and Blueface were not the only parties to this altercation. It had become a full-fledged family dispute as one side accused the other of encouraging toxic conduct. After Chrisean Jr. was created, the quantity of disputes increased rather than decreased. Chrisean was left to take care of the infant by himself. After Blueface was arrested for violating his probation shortly after his arrival. However, the public was more critical of Chrisean and far less sympathetic to him. She was reported to Child Protective Services after she was shown on camera bringing her baby inside a smoking establishment. Despite their history of splits, disputes, and public humiliations, she unveiled a huge face tattoo of Blueface around the same time. T.I. Kemp and other celebrities criticized Chrisean for this choice and advised him to prioritize becoming a mother before resuming a toxic relationship. Kemp even asked why, given his age, Chrisean Jr. wasn't walking or running yet. Chrisean responded by telling Kemp to give her a call rather than reprimanding her in public. Everything seemed to change after the medical records were leaked. The documents seemed to indicate that Chrisean, despite his prior denials that her child was ill, confronted numerous severe health issues are connected to substance usage during pregnancy. This served as the smoking gun for her detractors. She was a young mother in a terrible relationship who needed care, not condemnation, according to her supporters, who saw it as an opportunity to demonstrate compassion. The most important question still stood, though. What part did Blueface's claimed abuse play if the records were authentic? Could her son's health have become worse as a result of the violence she described in Vegas? Or was the diagnosis more closely associated with her own known and suspected pregnancy-related behaviors? Right now, the answer is still a mystery. As of June 2025, Chrisean has come forward to openly accuse Blueface of mistreating her when she was pregnant, particularly in the vehicle and Vegas instances. Blueface, who is still behind bars, has not directly addressed the accusations. The public is still divided on this issue. According to some, Chrisean suffered abuse and made bad choices out of desperation. She is regarded by some as an untrustworthy narrator, accusing someone of abuse in order to avoid taking accountability for her child's situation. There is no doubt that this story is far from over. Both parents are still under public scrutiny, and the child at the center of this dispute may have difficulties for the rest of their lives. Even when decisions have already been made in the court of public opinion, it may take some time for the facts to come to light in the actual world. What do you think then? Is this a heartbreaking account of abuse and neglect, or is it a warning? about the perils of spending your entire life on the internet. Should only one parent be held responsible in this situation, or are both at fault? Because there is a lot of drama in this narrative, please share your ideas in the comments section. And come back frequently.